Okay.
What did you say? Yeah, major. We're getting there, chat. We're getting there.
I don't know.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Friday.
It is finally Friday. Yes. It's actually Friday.
I'm not wrong, right? This is actually Friday?
It is Friday today.
It's actually Friday? I'm building models.
It's been Friday all day. And it is still Friday.
I'm building models. Well, not really building. These are 3D printed. So I'm just making sure that they're free of as many of the supports as possible as normal. But I got some models in the mail, and I'm excited for them.
Scorched Earth, I think we're both doing all right. I'm doing okay.
Don't you speak for me.
I'm not gonna. I said I think. Jason,
don't you
how
speak
how
for
are
me.
You today?
Take a guess. I want to have you guess.
Me?
Yeah, you guess how I am today. You guess.
Did I forget to do something?
Huh?
I'm trying to think if I forgot to do something.
Oh, what?
That would make you disappointed.
Yeah, you. Let's see how Jen thinks I'm doing today. Yeah, you just...
I think you are doing fantastic.
Oh, of course you would.
Because it's Friday and you didn't have any meetings today.
Well, of course you would.
So I think that you're enjoying your day so far.
I am enjoying my day so far.
Good.
It's been a good day.
Panic Bomb said having Zach on yesterday indirectly led to me getting a new tattoo today.
What? How does that even work?
You didn't even really get a good look at his tattoos. What did you get? And how did it lead to you getting one? I need the story.
I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, Scorched Earth had your one-step medium arrive. Awesome.
Awesome.
Just in time for the long weekend.
Got some hobby planned. Some good old hobby on the weekend. The Memorial Day weekend.
Tommy Front Seat said, I realized I drive right by you guys every day on my way to work.
Which location?
Probably the one that actually says Monument Hobbies on it.
This one?
Yeah.
3rd Street, the one where we aren't? The one where we only stream from?
Shadowcast had a long work day. Can't wait to just kick back and relax and enjoy the witty banter and painting on stream.
Oh,
well,
there's no witty banter today. That's a lot to ask.
That's a big expectation.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to let you down.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Chandler Johnson, any Memorial Day sales going on? Probably. Lots.
I was waiting for it. I was like, speaking of witty banter, which one of us is going to say it first? No, we don't.
Here,
you know, it's funny because we're not.
Furniture is usually on sale on Memorial Day.
We're usually not a very sale-oriented company. We did Black Friday. We've already announced that we're doing another sale for our birthday because it's our 10th anniversary. But typically we don't do a lot of sales.
Yeah. We
one, maybe 2 a year, and it's not just like every holiday.
Black Friday was our first ever sale.
Yeah, Black Friday was literally the first time we have ever done a sale. Blew people's minds.
2018, when we first released the paint.
We are of the mind that we keep everything at a tremendous value all the time so that you never have to worry about what's on sale in order to get the paint you need. That's just the God's honest truth right there.
Love Minis, thank you for the sub.
Love Minis! What's going on? All right. Put that down.
Krieg's on a 50 stream streak.
No. That's not possible. Put my modeling tools away, maybe.
You go up Grand every day. Oh, so maybe it is the other location.
Oh, yeah, it could be over off of Clarendon.
The factory.
That's the real location.
That is this one.
For now, this one's pretty empty. It's just the studio.
Fingers crossed will not be the location much
my
longer.
remote office. Chris' office is out of here, and Gabe office is out of here half the time. So it's kind of all of our remote offices.
Oh, Panic Bomb said, followed Zach on Instagram, checked out his page this morning. While on Instagram, saw the Tattoo Expo was happening, so went down. Okay,
so I see how this works.
I see the indirect. Yes. What's
really
up, nerds
indirect.
and Jen? What?
Whoa. Are you saying? It's a pretty good assessment. Jen's not a really good practicing
That's
nerd.
True. I'm a hobby nerd, but I'm not.
She's a hobby nerd. That's a good way to put it.
But
She's
I'm
not a
nerd.
nerd. Zoom in close. We have these.
Creepy spidery dudes.
Dude, they are crazy.
He looks unhappy about his situation.
Oh, I think he looks supremely happy. He's ready to, like, he's got a rock and he's ready to smash your head in.
His face looks
with
creepy.
his crazy spooter arms. He's got spooter.
One is like scratching the other one. Like, I got an itch on this arm.
Yeah, this one's like clawing the other arm. It's very crazy. But yeah, so that's that. And then there's this guy who's still a little bit human. He has his I don't remember what the long swords are called, but he has a spider mandible face. Does he have bunches of eyes?
Spiky legs.
I can't tell what's going on with his eyes. He's got like goggles or something. Yeah, they got like the tarantula hair all over him, right?
Gross. That's cool. Is that one of them Pokemans?
This is one of them Pokemans. Yeah, this is a Pokemon.
He is Pokey, for sure. Panic Bomb got a Tex Avery style wolf. I don't know what Tex Avery style is. Do you like it?
I hope you like it. So. That's all that matters.
Because it's on you forever now. I mean,
that's a very mom thing to say.
Technically not, but
this guy's got a big old samurai sword. And then this guy's got a pole arm and a spider belly. Right?
Oh, I see the spider face.
Yeah. It's like the face and the mandibles coming out of his belly.
Why did you get these?
Why?
Yeah.
Because they're rad.
Oh.
Right? Aren't they cool? He's got a spider belly. And then the matriarch of the spider fam has a spider belly too. And like droopy boobs. She's got like droopy boobs and a crazy face and lots of spooter arms. And she has dun 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 dun.
She got a big butt.
She's got the big butt. Got some junk in the trunk.
She got some junk in the trunk.
Mama's got some junk in the trunk.
She got a badonka donk.
She's got the badonka donk. Can you say that again, please? Clip it. What does she have, Jen?
A badonka donk. Why does the 90s Spider-Man song come to mind? Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Does whatever a spider can.
Oh my
Chandler, you tried loading brushes like I showed yesterday and it helped a lot. Big thumbs up. That's awesome.
Fantastic. Big old donk.
She's got a big old donk. Spider bellies are very creepy. Yes, yes. These are like very special Spider-Mans. Yes. These are not Pokemans. These are from Bushido, and they are called the, I don't remember what they're called. They're called the something family, I think, right? Oh, it's just the family. It's the family.
Family, not the, just
and there's two more that I haven't put together yet. There's this little urchin-looking dude, and then this guy who's carrying his samurai sword over his shoulder. I only had time to build 4 of them before stream. And considering we only got here 20 minutes ago, that's pretty good. So yeah. And they're kind of like, on the cover, kind of that weird brownish, and then have like steel armor. Brownish tarantula looking craziness going on. And then I have this one too, that is like the, I don't know what Obasan means. The oldest of Mira's children, little remains of her humanity. As her human features vanished, so did all the thoughts of morality, kindness, and empathy. Yep, sounds like Jen. And so did dotes on her family.
That's not wrong.
And treats all the others her nephews and nieces. So it is. It's a big family of people who have lost their humanity and turned into these spiders.
Ooh.
And this, I guess, is the real matriarch. The oldest, the Obasan. And it's literally just a spider. It has no freaking human features left at all. So that's pretty rad.
Obasan means grandma. Said.
Oh, that's the grandma. All right. Cool. That's what we got.
Mo. What's up? Love your face.
I have not painted any Bushido miniatures in Good gosh. The last Bushido miniature we painted was one of the last paint-alongs we did, which would have been on Virginia Avenue, maybe.
Oh, wow.
In the stream on Virginia Avenue, where I painted a Tengu. It was a metal Tengu model.
Oh, this isn't the... There's some other models that were spider-like that you were painting. No, not.
Like this big one. Yeah.
The big blue one or whatever?
Yeah. That's a different deal.
Oh.
Oh, no. I was going to build this one, but oh, no.
Papa Chicken, yep, 2 days in a row. You've earned this blessing because Christopher is on vacation. And so is Gabe. But Friday is going to be my regular day. Yesterday would have been Gabe. But he went,
it's not as many pieces as it looks like. Oh, okay. Maybe. Let's see. What do we make here now? See if we can put this together real quick. Because this would be a cool one to paint at the same time we do the base coats for all the other ones that I'm about to do. It's kind of
Nope. Not a jumping spider. No likey.
Huh?
Krieg said, nope. Not a jumping spider. No likey.
No likey?
No likey.
What? What is it? How? What are you talking about?
Thorax. More like Thor-ass.
Yeah. I just love Jen saying badonk-a-donk.
Those are very special Spider-Men.
You know, badonk-a-donk. I don't have any idea. Put the box
I believe
away.
that's Pikachu. Ghost Hunter, why? Ghost Hunter said my LGS is not happy with his LGS is not happy with us.
Why not?
I don't know.
What's the matter with him? What's the matter with him?
Little Billy said, since Chris is gone, I can ask real questions. Jason, do you think you can demonstrate some NMM gold using one step, pretty please?
Maybe.
Okay, short, quick hi and bye before I jump back to work. And to say I tried the brush coop last night, loved it. Much more enjoyable to use than another super popular soap in a tan hockey puck. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's why we made it.
I have no idea how to put this together, so we're not going to do this right now, unfortunately. This one has like a spot where the leg goes into a hole. So that one works better, but the other feet don't really have anywhere. Oh, that one does.
Oh,
Right.
Double T, you're muted, so you won't be able to hear me say this, but happy anniversary. Taking Mrs. TT out for our 17th anniversary.
Fantastic.
A good long time. Has Jordan seen these yet? I don't think so.
We're going to give it a shot. See if we can make this work.
Oh, Ghost Hunter said, according to the LGS, they put their pre-order in for one step, but we said that they didn't. And now they won't get it until Tuesday at the earliest. People keep asking for it.
Yeah, they would have. That's not something that's easy to mistake. If they actually did it and entered it in, it would have shown up. There's no way for it not to. So, yeah, they may not have gone through and hit the send on it. It's done in a digital deal. Sorry they feel that way. We got 200 and...
Yeah, we got lots.
Over 250 other stores that did it without complaint, so...
Super duper John. Speaking of brush coop, I keep that stuff in my go bag and in my hot car while at work. You shouldn't keep stuff in your hot car.
Maybe not in the hot car.
Discovered how awesome it is on the semi-melted level. Well, it is. If you've got the 2.0 version, it can withstand that a bit easier than the OG, the original.
Yeah, you still
a big mess.
You still just want to stir it back together.
But yeah, stir it up because it does separate just a little bit.
This is very strange. It's not very centered on here is the problem, right? So I don't know. Oh, it does. Okay.
Okay.
There
you go.
Okay. I see.
Droth Vader said I got an eye roll from the guy at the Warhammer store when he asked if I needed paints, and I said, no thanks. I use Pro Acryl.
Yeah. An eye roll. We have a lot of people at the Warhammer stores that use our stuff.
Yeah.
right? There's a lot of people in the world of Games Workshop that use our stuff, including the studio. We have people in the studio.
We've learned that people who work for other brands secretly like ours better. I won't name any names.
We do have some of those. It's pretty fun. This is a hard one because the way the legs and everything go and they have to hit on the base just right, I'm kind of gluing it while trying to hold it in position to where the legs are supposed to go on the base and see if we can't make this work. These are really rad. Bushido has switched to all 3D printed models though. Not the biggest fan in the world of that, but other than that, these are really rad.
Did you have much that you had to clean up? I mean, you did it not too long.
No, there wasn't a lot to clean up. So, there is that. It's much easier to put this together. I have a love-hate with 3D printing. We do it. Our texture trainers, the normal round 65 mil texture trainers are all 3D printed. It makes it very easy to build value into your miniatures because the cost is very controllable. But the resin just isn't. I don't believe resin will ever get to where we need it to be for models. A lot of people argue with me, but it hadn't gotten there yet. Everybody says, "Oh, but look at this! I can bend it and it doesn't break." I'm like, "Yeah," and then take it in your car in the sun. Tell me how that works. And it melts and wilts. We've had models that a year. I just showed one on stream the other day. A year after painting it, the resin bubbles to the surface and makes the paint all shiny and weird. Yeah, it's kind of a tough deal. It's just that's not really, in the world of resin models, you have like cast resin like we do on the framables, and that you can do some really cool stuff with. And it will still melt in the sun because that's just the way resin works. There's no way around that. It's not like the rest of the plastics and stuff that we use in modeling.
Scorched Earth said, "I'll be working on my MCP X-Men starter set. Very excited to try out and play with the one-step medium. Shout out to the fulfillment team. I'm sure they've been slammed this week and they're kicking ass."
They have, and they do.
They are off today. Our regular schedule is Monday through Thursday, so they are off today, and they are going to enjoy a very well-deserved long weekend. They're off on Monday as well, and they will come back Tuesday, ready to get back to it. Shadowcast said, "Hey, Jason, I was wondering if you might tell me what the black workup was for the night on the last stream. I know one step black, but the highlight is what I'm missing."
It's done with dark purple and taupe as a base coat is what you need to know. And then it's the one step dark blue black over the top of that. But it's the taupe, right? Because there's a little bit of a yellowishness to taupe that gives it this really cool dark green black feel. Because it's the blue black over the taupe that's kind of giving it that green feel. And that's just, that's amazing to be able to do that kind of armor like that in one coat of paint. I mean, I say one coat. Obviously, you do the zenithal highlight. But when you do a chromatic zenithal like that with dark purple shadows and taupe highlights, then you can get some really, really amazing color out of stuff. And I'm just constantly surprised at what One Step will do with playing with it like this. And this was just graphite gray with rust in the crevices. That's all that was. And then a simple highlight over the top of the bright neutral gray. So, super easy.
Painting. Are you guys going to sell any of your products at Contrast in Poland? If yes, should I take some dollars with me?
We will not be selling. We have a Polish dealer that's there. that will be.
You don't have to take American dollars.
So no, you can
use your
buy in local currency.
Lil Billy, Lil Billy wants to know what liquor and how much of it is in each bottle of Drunken Brush Goop.
We will not tell you that.
I'm not going to tell you because that's top secret.
Yeah, that's part of the formulation that keeps it so awesome.
I won't tell you how much, but it's beer. Sandwich Bro said, if you guys ever get into making more Monument branded stuff, I'd suggest a line of chewing gum, and the first flavor would be, of course, Monument. Hobbies.
Ha ha! I like it. That's actually really good.
Mo thinks you need to invent some resin that doesn't melt in the sun.
I mean, it's kind of. I dread saying things are impossible because that's when people do amazing things. But resin isn't new. It's been around for a long time. And so to be able to have a resin that acts outside of physics, and general science seems a little far-fetched to me. But, I don't like to be a naysayer. I really want it to be a thing. And people are always like, they'll tell you, well, then don't take your models out in the sun. I'm like, dude, we live in Phoenix, Arizona.
We're not vampires.
And in order to play games, you're driving in 100+ degree heat across town. And, people that get out and put gas in their car are susceptible to having their miniatures melt. We had Adon Tejada, Adon. From the independent characters, and Adon came out.
He lived here for a while.
And
right after he moved here, he learned it.
Yeah, Adon moved here and learned the hard way that he had to rebase like all of his. He had a Space Marine Scout army, and he had to like rebase every single one of them because the moment he got here, they wilted on their bases and melted, and because he, had them in the trunk of his car like you would in California. That doesn't work here. And they were not resin. They were just GW plastic.
Anthony Guido de John. I remember that name. Long time no see. Said my team is out serving arrest warrants. Watching your stream between targets. That sounds like quite an adventure.
Jen wants to know.
I would love to know what's going on.
You're right up her alley.
Can't wait to
Are we on Cops?
Live PD?
Are we on Live PD?
Can't wait to use my one-step secret sauce this weekend.
Awesome.
Stay safe out there. Get those bad guys.
All right.
Belial said, I got to thank you, my name, from your fulfillment team on my one-step order. Made me smile. That is something that Jason and I started
very beginning
2018. And it was very important to us.
10 years of making you guys recognize that you are the reason we're here. Yep. And so it's always worth it. And it's part of the training regiment with the team. That this is not just a thing you do. This is a thing you need to feel as you're doing it. Yep. Because it's got to, could I get you to get me a water? I'm sorry, I completely spaced. All right, so now we got Grandma Spooter, that's a really cool model. For only having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, right? The body, the 2 legs, 3 head, and then this 1 leg, 4 or 5 pieces. And it actually did fit on the base really well for a 3D printed model. 3D prints, they move and stretch as they print a lot of times, but that went on there pretty well. It's kind of a weird shift on the base, but I like it. Thanks, babe. Thank you.
Have you dehydrate?
For the person that asked me to do some non-metallic gold with one step, I would suggest going back and watching Monday and Tuesday streams where and maybe some of Wednesday's stream. No. Wednesday and Thursday were the night So Monday and Tuesday streams where we were able to do this as kind of a bronzy gold and watch the steps that we did on this guy, because that's the easiest way you're going to see it happen with this coloring. And then you can play around with coloring the way that I mix. This might have been too orange for you. You might not like it with the dark green brown kind of wash that I did with the one step. But this is going to be a really great way for you to see it, because the only thing we did other than one step here is a quick dry brush of pale yellow and then coming back and doing the edge highlights. That's it.
Oh, I said it was when he was on vacation.
Yeah. So watch Monday and Tuesday. Go back and check those out, and you'll be able to see, because like I said, this was so easy. And the same as the armor, you know, getting you to see and realize that doing quote unquote non-metallic can be as simple as putting down a layer of one step over a zenithal prime, because the zenithal prime will do a better job of setting up where the shine on your non-metallic would be than a lot of people understand in doing it by hand. And so it will, you know, set you up for greatness, and then you just have to follow the lines on that, because that's all we did for all of this. There's the gold key that I did where I mixed more orange into it to give it, you know, a deeper yellow gold on the keys for a little pop on the shield and on his waist. But this one was really, really simple.
Meat sauce. If I ordered my one step on the 18th, when can I expect it? Just anxious to try it in my airbrush.
Where are you at?
Did you get an email with your shipping notification?
Well, that's why I'm asking, where are you at? Are you in the EU?
Oh, that's a good question. US or Europe?
Anytime we have product launches, there's a little bit of a shipping delay. But there was shipping that went out yesterday and today from the EU, and then that'll pick back up on Monday. And then shipping all the way through yesterday here, and then we'll pick up on Tuesday because we have the long weekend holiday.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, this was a question. I think Belial asked.
I can't get away from it. It has to be dark purple.
Oklahoma, and it just says prepping order. What time on the 18th did you order? Because the 18th was Monday, right?
That was the launch day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were were thousands of orders. So
yeah.
It may just be that it'll get your notification on Tuesday. Yeah. And again, we apologize for the delay. Anytime we do launches, it just sets us back by about a week over what we normally have as our ship times. But it is coming.
This question I think Belial asked yesterday, and we didn't get to it. Is there a reason you don't strip and just reprime? I've always been told by others to strip to make sure you do not obscure details, which I've always been skeptical of.
It depends, right? I mean, you know, this is probably something that comes from way back in the day when, you know, people were using like enamel paints and heavier paints. And when you have those on a model, they are already very thick. And so then when you put, you know, new paint over it, yeah, it's like every layer of paint obscures a little bit more. Oh, what the heck was that about? The base ring isn't part of the... Oh, that was weird. Well, okay then. I didn't realize that was just an insert.
Good grief, Jason! I'll do it. I'll buy the dark purple and taupe primers. You've twisted my arm enough.
I know. I don't do them on stream because we don't sell them. It's not added marketing. I'm sorry. What was the question I was answering?
Why you don't strip?
Oh, stripping. Yeah, but nowadays when we paint with acrylics, unless you've just got somebody that went hog wild with the rattle can primer, and you'll know because it'll have all sorts of texture and already look like a thick coat of house paint on the model, you know, that you get off of like eBay or something, #ProPainted. Then you can go back over it with just a thin dusting of primer, or just start painting your opaque colors right over the top of the base and not worry about it. Like I said, I never strip anything. The last time I stripped a model gave birth to Pro Acryl. Honestly. It was the story of me doing white and the white not working, and then using some airbrush cleaner and stripping the white off of the cloak I was painting, mixing up paint, coming up with bold titanium white, painting that, and I've never stripped a model since. Now, it's not just because of Pro Acryl, but it's just because rarely do you ever need to do that. You know, now I do have run across some models that would have been really cool to do repaints on that were filled with like Tester's enamel as the paint that the person used originally. And that you might have to like strip, put them in lacquer thinner or something and strip them down. But I just don't have time for that. There's no model that's important enough for me to want to strip it and paint it. I would rather buy the model and build it again than worry about stripping it, because stripping always to me runs the risk of like leaving paint in the recesses because it can't get out of there very easily, and it's just a pain. So I don't do it. I don't recommend it to anybody, but there are lots of people who are like, oh no, I really need to strip this model, and there are products out there that help you. Everybody talks about LA is totally awesome. There was a company that tried to make a stripping chemical, and it was funny, one of our viewers, Repray, asked me in Discord if I could see if I could find it. He'd buy it from me. And I was like, yeah, if I can find it. And I found it, but it had solidified and dried up and cracked the bottle open and stuff like that. So that was from, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago at Adepticon. Somebody came up and said, we'd really like for you to rep our stuff. And I was like, I don't strip models. I don't think I'd be your best sales guy.
Mike said your last stripper did what? Gave birth to what?
What's that?
Your last stripper did what? Gave birth to what? Peter Brooks. We will be at UK Games. Well, Kyle will be at UK Games Expo, not in a Monument booth. He will be with Wayland Games, the Color Forge. He'll be kind of bouncing around out there. But Wayland Games will have our products for sale.
Yep, they've got a Monument section. He'll be manning the Monument section. He'll actually be painting there. Kyle is a fantastic painter.
Kyle's a good painter, yeah.
So Kyle is our director of sales. He will be there showing off the paints, and you can hang out and ask him questions and stuff along with the Wayland team. He's there to support them and helping them understand how we sell and to get them used to the paints.
Mike.
What did Mike do?
Mike just gifted 100 subs.
Mike, while Jen's here, that's being brave.
He does that on purpose. I thought he was going to do it yesterday because he said, oh, if Jen's here, that means I should get some subs. Just waiting to do
Thank
it
you,
today,
Mike.
right at the beginning.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Everybody, if you got a sub, I don't care if you got a sub for Mike or not. Everybody gets some hearts up in chat for Mike. Mike's the hero we don't deserve. Always building the stream up, always showing support, always getting people subbed. Thank you, Mike. This is a really hard model to prime.
Really?
Yeah, the legs are super close together.
Oh my goodness. How did
right?
you paint that?
I didn't think about this. This might have been better to like try to prime it before putting it on the base, but that would have created its own hassles. So we're just going to kind of wing it, get it as best we can here.
Looks like dark purple primer is out of stock.
What?
People are saying dark purple primer is sold out.
What?
Best thing to do is to put in your email address for the restock notification. The team is off today, so we don't have.
I want to think it's because of showing people how we did the black armor.
Probably.
On the night.
One step, yeah.
Over the last couple of streams with the one step and the dark purple and taupe. We have really been selling it, but not in intention to actually sell out of it. But there'll be more quickly. So hold tight.
Papa Chicken said a while back you did a really long demo for getting the perfect blend from burnt umber to yellow ochre. It was really in-depth and wonderfully informative. Have you considered planning to do a tutorial like that once or twice a month? There was so much value in there for me, and I bet many others as well.
We do. What are you talking about?
He does tutorials every day.
We do this 5 times a week. And generally every week there's something like that. If you just are like, if that one really spoke to you because of the blending nature of it, then yeah, Chris captures a lot. You know, when Chris is here, having him, you know, really kind of feed him what you're looking to see. And then he and I go over that all the time when we're talking about what models to paint. And I will work it in. I'll look at a model that I really want to paint and figure out how I can work in the things that people are asking the most for, you know. It's never a problem. It's kind of the way that we let me figure out what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, if you've got something in particular, even if it's something as specific as, hey, you know, I really do or want to do this color scheme, and the part that hangs me up is XY, these two colors. And, you know, we've had people in this last week just come in and ask how to blend two colors together, and I've really done a lot of talking about it just in the last week with regard to specific color schemes and working. I think the last one we did was like yellow ochre, and I can't remember what the other color was.
Oh, it was sold out Tuesday when you picked up your one step. Oh, for a minute then, huh?
Well, we've been using the dark purple and all this week, right?
Droideka scored a bottle of special sauce at my local store. Have a buddy coming over for painting night. That is awesome.
Holy, that guy was hard.
Shadowcast, sorry. Asked earlier, but stuff happened here. How would you approach doing a true black one step with the medium? Would your color choices of taupe and dark purple? Hold on. I asked earlier, but stuff happened here. How would you approach doing a true black one step with the medium? Would your color choices of taupe and dark purple zenithal for it?
Okay, so if you want it, when you say true black, you're not looking for something with the chromatic then, right? You just want black. And if you just want black, then do white and black underneath it. And then use the one-step medium with coal black, and you're good, right? Just keep it simple. If you do the dark purple and the taupe underneath it, you're going to get a chromatic black, right? The taupe is going to shift the color of the black a little bit. And anytime you put any black with any kind of yellow, it's going to start shifting towards green most likely, although there are some hues that can happen in between. But it'll start to green out. You know, that's why people hate painting yellow over black primer, because it turns into this weird mottled green. So yeah, just white and black zenithal, and then the one-step medium with coal black. You can do the one-step medium with transparent black too. You can test both and see which one you like better. They're both true blacks, right? You could even do it with satin black if you wanted.
Gillenborn said, an FYI, special sauce works great with non-pro paints too. Use some Walmart hobby paints with special sauce in my airbrush last night. Worked wonderfully.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, we don't test it, you know, with other brands, because that's not what we care about. What we care about is the functionality of it in general, and then of course with Pro Acryl. But it should work just great with any other acrylic that does, like I say, doesn't have a specific thinning medium that you're supposed to use. There are some brands out there that have their own thinner that they require other than just water. Sometimes it has alcohol in it. Sometimes it has some other solvent in it. And if that's the case, then you may find that stuff like Noosh and our other mediums don't work as well as you wish they would with those paints. But
Average Dallas, hello.
Dallas, what's going on again? Dallas been hanging out a lot this week.
Yeah.
How you going, man?
Mike said, can you do more tutorials? It feels like there are eating or sleeping hours that could be content too. Like not painting tutorials, just life stuff.
Hey, Jen.
For you, Mike.
Hey, Jen, I'm sorry, but I can't go to dinner tonight.
Maybe.
I have to...
You do a dinner tutorial.
I have to do a dinner tutorial here.
Create content in public. People do that all the time. I've never once seen anyone dancing in an airport or really in public anywhere, making like a TikTok. I've never seen that happen in real life.
What, the social media?
Yeah. And I know personally people who do it, but I have never actually seen it in my own real life. I've never witnessed an influencer in the wild.
I've seen people that I believe that's what they're doing, but the only one that I can really attest to is the one where the chick fell off the pole. There was a group of 3 people that were definitely out, because one of them was holding the camera and filming, and they were dancing, and one of them jumped up on top of one of those poles that's meant to keep cars from smashing through the front of buildings. It's right over by our house. And the two people helped her up on top of it, and then they got the camera ready, and the one girl down on the ground started dancing, and the girl up on top of the pole started dancing and fell right the hell off. Didn't even get her first move done while the guy was filming, and she just bust. I drove on, but yeah, she may have died. I don't know. She landed like not good.
Darth Vader said these models look pretty complicated. Do you not bother with sub-assemblies at this scale?
Nah, I mean, most of these, unfortunately, are one piece.
They were one piece.
They're 3D printed, so that's another one of the detriments of 3D printing. It's a boon and a bane at the same time, as I would say, is that, 3D printing can allow you to create very complex sculpts in one piece, but those complex sculpts are not very painter-friendly sometimes, right? Because it's like, wow, I wish there were some sub-assemblies here. This guy's all one piece. There was nothing glued on to this guy. This claw up top broke off in the packaging, and I glued it back on. But that's the only thing that was there. And so it wasn't meant to be multiple pieces. It just happened to bust off in transit. And I was able to glue it back on. But yeah, that can be a problem. But when it comes to just like plastic models and sub-assemblies, it's very rare that I do sub-assemblies. The main reason I don't like them is because when it comes to painting a model, the shadows are going to be brought by the model itself, not just the environment, right? So if there's like these hands on his head and stuff that are casting shadows across the body, I want to make sure I capture that. And if I started in a sub-assembly to where the hands are off to the side, sometimes it's hard to then put them back on the body and have your lighting be right. And then you're just right back into where you would have been anyway, where you got to like paint around the parts once you glue them together. The other part is that gluing, your model together from sub-assembly and then to when it's painted, gluing it together is a pain sometimes. I really do not like that prospect. The join lines and seams that come sometimes from gluing the model together, when you do that and it's already painted, that can be a problem. So you're going to have to go back and usually fix that. But going back and filling that in is always a problem. Plus, I just like my toys to be done, is the thing, right? I like to, when I'm painting, there's just a world where I want to see the finished product in front of me, or, the finished shape in front of me as I paint it. So, but there are some models where sub-assemblies definitely make sense, especially some larger models that have shields. Can be really great if the shield's like in front of them and they got their face down behind it. Those can be nice to keep the shield off until you've got the paint on the body, and luckily in those cases, a lot of times you can avoid having to see where the glue line is because it's on a wrist that you don't see anyway. So, there's some workarounds for sure. But you won't see me very often having like, all my Space Marine heads off on the side on sticks and paint them separately. I just paint them on the body.
Kendrick White, the weathering pigments, I believe, are back in stock.
Yeah, they're back in stock.
Yeah.
Unless they sold out in the 24-hour period, they went back in stock, which is not unheard of. But
I don't think so. But I just
weathering pigments have been some of the most
notification.
They've been some of the most sought after products we've ever made. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's the power of Pro-Acryl, but in a different way because, you don't think about it, but the quality of our pigment is second to none. And the pigment in the weathering pigments is the same pigment we use in our paints. And when people started using them, they were like, what is so different about these? And I was like, I don't know, it's the same pigment we use for everything. But then you remember, it's like, oh yeah, other people don't splurge and use pigment the way we do. But I had no idea people were going to fall in love with the weathering pigments the way they did. That's awesome.
Bess, we do make a spray can primer, but it is not available in the EU. Unfortunately.
Our sprays are currently made by the Color Forge. The Monument sprays are a different formula, though, but their matte black is very good. So if you have access to the Color Forge where you are, try the Color Forge out. Obviously good partners of ours. We also are the Color Forge North America, so we sell their products here in the States. And they, of course, make our primers. But like I said, we reformulated the white, gray, and black to be different from theirs. The gray is our own color. They don't have a color like our gray, and our matte and white are, or our black and white are more matte than theirs.
Love Plants Live, hello. We're doing great. How are you?
Fantastic.
Quick question. I've seen Jason painting the legally distinct sanguineous in non-metallic with mostly airbrush.
Yep.
Is this method scalable for army painting like Custodes?
100%. It is the, like, kind of the de facto way, if you can get confident with your airbrushing, to do exactly that when you have large areas of gold. It doesn't scale for just doing like Space Marine shoulder pads trim, and you know, like my Blood Angels I can't make it really work on, except for maybe the Sanguinary Guard where I'm doing gold armor across multiple guys. But for Custodes, 100%. You know, for gold armored knights or anything like that where you have large areas of it, yes, because the airbrush sets up your highlight areas so much better. Or I don't know if it's so much better, right? If you know how to do non-metallic metal and you're very confident in your lighting and reflection placement skills, then, you know, I'm just as confident using a brush to sketch in where my brightness goes as I am with an airbrush. But for people that are just starting out, the airbrush tells you where the shine goes when you do it like a zenithal. And so by doing, if you follow along that video or a couple of videos where I did the sanguineous gold armor, then you'll see that same thing. It just makes it super, super easy to have the shine and value sketch, we call it, already done when you do your zenithal, and then you're just popping in some highlights. But that's really where the confidence with the airbrush comes in, is the part where you're having to get real close with the airbrush and put little bitty spots of shine to bring out the brightness. But it doesn't take a whole lot of effort and just a little bit of practice to get good at that.
Kendrick White, awesome. Glad you got your hands on those. The email was just going out today, so maybe you haven't gotten it yet.
What's that? The
pigment.
Oh, it goes out today?
Well, yeah, I didn't get it until like late last night, and I just reviewed it today and got back to me now. So he was going to send it out, I think, today. Stan, we cope because we have AC. If we did not have AC, we would not live here, probably.
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona doesn't exist without air conditioning.
Yeah, it's brutal. Mike, should I be worried that I only have 2 more unopened spare Monument Hobbies airbrushes? Well, we don't sell them anymore, so yes, probably. Take good care of them.
We still use ours. Used them for years. They're great brushes.
Yeah,
it was a tough decision for us to not do the airbrush anymore, but with the world being the way that it is, getting product in with a Taiwanese partner that has their own pricing controls that we can't change, it just made it to where they were too expensive. I didn't feel like it was being that valuable at the price we were going to have to charge. So, you know, I've said for years, one of my main goals is to manufacture our own airbrush someday. But that's a much larger thing to do than to say. Much easier to say than to do, I guess is the way to say that.
I'm not Daedalus. Your older videos have funky music playing at the beginning. Why no more funk?
The way the YouTube algorithm started working, there are companies out there that will, it's not trademark, but they will go in and copyright free use music. They're criminals. And they will get you 3-struck and out, and YouTube won't let you back on. So we just cut the music, right? So that thieves can't stop us from doing it. Because yeah, it's a real nefarious world when you start looking at the way music rights are handled digitally, because there's so much money in it, I guess. that there's just people out there that will tell you that something you bought a license to is theirs, and YouTube doesn't care if it's true or not. You don't really have a good way to go through and do anything about it if you're not the original copyright holder. If you just licensed it, then YouTube really won't listen to you. And they're a 3 strikes and you're out thing, and you can't, then you got to start a new channel. And Chris is, you know, I'll give him grief sometimes for being a little too afraid of stuff, but he errs on the side of caution. He's not willing to risk, neither am I, risk the Monument Hobbies channel over some music.
So if we made our own music,
they would do the same thing. That's been a lot of things. Now, in that case, if it was our music, then we could actually send YouTube the proof that we made that music and produced it, and then they'll take the strike away, but then they'll just put a strike back on it. These, especially now with AI, they can scrape the music files, compare them to licensed music out there, and if there's no recognizable license, they make it copyrighted and say they did it, and then they go on and close you down.
Maybe we should just have Freddie make us tunes.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, it's not really a problem until you start getting a lot of views, right? Yeah. And then that's when people start hitting you, because then that's when they can hold you ransom. Pay us $1,000 for your own music.
Architect 13 said, came in to pick up the special sauce and 3 bottles of One Step. Can't wait to try them out. What ratio of sauce to paint when trying with the Procro line?
I like to say 2 or 3 to 1, probably 3 to 1 has been where with Procryl I've had the best results. Some colors will want less, some colors will want more. The more opaque the color is, the more medium you'll want, but usually never more than like 4 drops to 1 of paint. That kind of a mix ratio works really well. 3 is where I start, 2 to 3, and then test it out, see how I like it. So it's not like Noosh and glazed wash medium, which take a lot of the medium to get to work the way you want them to. It actually doesn't take a whole lot of the special sauce to really get it going, which is super nice.
Said also everyone was very nice.
That's factory?
Yeah.
Awesome. We have a good crew.
We do. King Sauce said you probably answered this already, but what works best for One Step, white or taupe primer? A dark and a light, right? So, I mean, if you're going to be doing a zenithal, just any dark and any light. White works great. You know, you're going to have a different look of the colors depending on what you do under it. I like taupe because of the brightness and the yellowishness it gives, but also bright ivory works great. White works great. You name it. Because we work in usually, like, I won't say just military tones, because we paint more than greens and browns and yellows, but we live in that world where we're painting things that are war dollies, you know, and those desaturated yellow base, you know, bright base tones, light taupe, not really a yellow, but it's a tan, you know, it's more yellow than not, work great. So you, like you're seeing me here, I'm going to do dark purple and taupe. Or actually, I might do dark purple and pale yellow. Let's do that. So it's a little bit brighter. Because I'm going to be doing like mottled brown tarantula style coloring on these guys, along with some shadow flesh. A.G. Dijon said, target one in custody. On to the next. And then it said, do you prefer zenithal? Or where did it go? Do you prefer zenithal or dry brush? I love the hobby questions in between catching bad guys.
Do I prefer to dry brush my value sketch or to airbrush it? I like the hybrid approach. I like to do the first 2 colors, which is like what you're going to see me do here with the dark and then the light. And then if it's like the purple and the taupe and then a dry brush of bright ivory or a dry brush of bright pale yellow over the top works really well. I don't necessarily prefer to just dry brush, but that's how we did this one, just because I was showing you at the beginning of the week how to do it airbrush versus dry brush. We airbrushed the values onto the lion here, and then we dry brushed this guy I airbrushed the purple on just for speed, the base of purple, but then the taupe and the bright ivory, I dry brushed over the top, and it worked great, right? So you can see that the one, pop in super close. You can see that the one step, I haven't done anything else here on this arm, right? And you can see that you can't really tell that any of that was done with a dry brush, right? The dry brush picked up those bright streaks on there, and when before it had the one step on there, it looked like you had dry brushed it. It looked a little rough and with the texture of a dry brush, but the one step blends those colors so well that now you don't get that, right? You don't get the heavy brush stroke of the dry brush showing through. It just acted like, you know, the highlight you wanted. So nowhere on here would you really know that I dry brushed this. Whereas with, you know, other paints of this type, a lot of times you can still tell you dry brush. It still gives that rough value sketch underneath. It's very dry brush textury. One step is enough more opaque that it helps to get rid of some of that. So it blends and does it very, very well.
Mike wants to know if he can if he can use one step to pretend he can do non-metallic metal. I remember you using nickel azo with one step medium and got an NMM look.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been showing, that knight armor is non-metallic metal. This is non-metallic metal, right? This is just one step and a dry brush over the top, and then a little bit of paintbrush to do this like bright highlight there, and you know, a little bit dot of bright highlight around, doing like the edge across the top there. This is all one step. If you watch the first couple of videos this week where I did this guy, that gold was super easy. Everybody watching the video right now could make gold like that. Just follow what I did. There was no complicated brush strokes, no complicated mixing, nothing. It was literally super, super easy. So yeah. And then the knight's armor was even easier than that, because the knight's armor was literally just dry brushing the value sketch on the zenithal and then putting the dark blue black over the top and then edge highlighting it. That's it. You know? And that gave us a really good dark non-metallic metal armor. Right? Same with like the gold key that I did there. That's all just a one coat of one step, a little bit of the dark green brown as more of a wash over the top, and then a highlight, an edge highlight. So yeah, you can kind of watch all the videos this week and where we did the one step to do the lion and the knight, and you'll see all sorts of really cool stuff that we did. There's nothing that I've done on either of these models that nobody watching right now, literally nobody watching right now couldn't. You could do these. There's nothing here you couldn't do. It's all just because one step makes it so easy. All right, let's do some pale yellow.
He said, but that's more than one step. You're saying it's lying to me?
The cake is a lie. Your models are done in just one step. Open the bottle, painted.
AG DeJohn said, my sergeant is colorblind and wants to know if you can make a Pro Acryl color wheel with your paint names.
So that, because the paint names handle very well for color blindness, but you want them in a, oh, I understand.
A color wheel.
So you could see them in a color wheel to know where they sit. That's interesting. I had never really thought of that. There's probably a world where we could do something
Gabe,
like that.
Put it on the whiteboard. Papa Chicken said, you're likely a master of mixing colors now, but when was the last time you mixed colors and were caught off guard by the results? What were the colors? Has that ever happened to you? No, never happened.
Not when mixing the colors together, when I'm glazing colors or like the one-step colors over other colors, you know, that amazes me, because when you have a base color on a model, it's harder to tell what you're going to get when you put another color over the top, because it's not exactly the same as just mixing those two colors. So like if I paint pale yellow, you know, over the purple, right, then what am I going to get? Well, if I mix pale yellow and purple, I'm going to get a totally different color. Here, I'm going to get some semblance of that as I airbrush it. And if I filter it and glaze it, or you know, use special sauce to create one-step color, whatever it is. So that's usually where it is. Because the night, this is the most recent one. This blew me away. This is our dark blue black, one step, over the top of taupe. and it gave us that dark sea bin color, right? Because the dark blue black with that little bit of yellowishness from the taupe just made this amazing color for the armor that I love. I think it looks great. Whereas the normal dark blue black does this over just white, right? So I think that wound up being fantastic. So it's little surprises like that you get when you glaze that I constantly have. There's no way I don't think. I mean, I'll know that what I'm gonna get close to, but the nuances of color can be spectacular when you're glazing, right? Because if you're careful and you're doing thin coats of paint and building up, that's why I say to do that, because as you're filtering, you might find a place that you're like, oh, I had no idea it was going to look like that, but I'm going to stop now because that's rad. And that happens all the time. Not every model, but, you know, I can feel pretty comfortable if I said, you know, nearly every model. Because we do so much filtering, whether it's with washes or one step or just glazing with regular Procryl, whatever it is. All right. So that was some special sauce medium with pale yellow, just to get us a nice semi-opaque version of the color that'll allow me to blend it up. And again, a lot of people ask, like, where do I know how to do my zenithal? This one is funky because this model is framed kind of symmetrically with the arms up and stuff. So there's not really, the model's not looking off to one direction or the other. It's looking straight forward in a symmetrical frame. So picking a lighting area is probably going to be over here on their right shoulder because this arm is higher and is going to block and put a bunch of shadow the other way. So I'm going to go from 10 o'clock this way.
Swifter Bear said, I think I made a mistake. I'm trying to experiment with vibrant colors and different underpainting. I started with green brown to yellow ochre and then bismuth yellow.
Uh-huh.
I think I may have started too dark or the values are just too far apart. What undercolors bring out a more vibrant yellow?
Where is that written? Up further. Trying to experiment with vibrant colors and different underpainting. I started with green brown to yellow ochre and using bismuth yellow over the top. So bismuth yellow is the color you want to experiment with and see how that vibrant color looks when you have the underpainting. You're always going to desaturate your colors when you put them over an underpainted workup. So your bismuth is always going to change, right? So you have to go in with that expectation. So without seeing it, I can't tell you whether or not it's something that, yeah, that looks rad. It sounds like it would be pretty cool. But the green-brown with bismuth yellow over it is going to make a really neat color. It isn't going to be very vibrant, right? It's not going to be like a hugely saturated color, which is probably what you're finding out, if I'm hearing you right. If you wanted to keep a more vibrant yellow at the end, then think of what is going to give a punch to your yellow. Oranges will more than greens. So, burnt orange might be the color to start with to do the bismuth over the top. And then you said you did yellow ochre. Yeah, I mean, if you did burnt orange, yellow ochre, and then white for your highlight, because remember, bismuth yellow to go over yellow ochre, to get back to bismuth yellow, you have to do it very opaque. So the easier way, if you want to filter bismuth yellow, is remember you can always do your underpaint colors like you did. Try green, brown, yellow ochre, and then white. And keep your white to very small highlight areas with your zenithal. So you've got your green, brown in the darkest shadows, your yellow ochre in the midtones, your white in the highlights, and then when you spray your bismuth over the top, it's going to make the white pop with the bismuth yellow, and then filter the bismuth yellow over the other one. So that may be the step you're missing, is using a white as your final step there. That making sense? You following me? Because to keep vibrancy, throw a little bit of extra brightness on the model that way with the white.
I'm remembering there was another question about it was about the primer for one step, and I think somebody asked if they could use like black and neutral, like bright neutral gray.
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't find that one, but.
Yeah, I'm using pale yellow. Bright neutral gray would be very similar to the pale yellow right now. It just wouldn't have a warm tone to it. You can use bright warm gray. The color is up to you. Do what you want.
Also a question from Shadowcast. Other than trial and error, what do you recommend we look into to kind of figure out how color mixing could work? I'm not a new painter, but I'm new to mixing pretty much ever since I started your brand. Never really had a lot of training in this, just some general ideas on what to look for.
Color mixing in general?
Sounds like it.
Again, that light and color book does a great job with that, right? So if you want a book that will help you out, the book is called Light and Color, and it will help you understand value. It will help you understand a little about mixing, but you can, just through Google, come up with a lot of really cool...
Color and light.
Color and light. I always say light and color. I always piss people off. It's like light and color. Light's what's important to me, not color, so I always start there.
Which light? It was so good. Society Swan was fantastic. Highly recommend.
What is?
Society Swan.
Oh, the restaurant.
Dinner place on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Very good. Chandler Johnson wants to know, I've been struggling with light placement on my models. Any suggestions on picking a light source? I feel like I'm putting highlights in places they shouldn't be.
10 or 2? Answered. Right? 10 or 2. Pick that. That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to go at 2 o'clock on this guy because he's kind of leaning and there's not as much base spot over here. So I'm just going to start my light sources over here. You don't ever want to do straight down if you can avoid it unless there's a really good, environmental story that you're trying to tell. 10 or 2. And if you're doing a zenithal, it's really that easy. I'm hitting everything I can from 2 o'clock over here on the model. So it looks like, ta-da, all colored. And then this way, all not colored. And then I'll turn it around at 10 o'clock and I'll pull the brush further back to where I'm dusting some color on from 10, which keeps it from going from, bright to super dark, but it keeps my shadow baked in.
I feel like you, and this is kind of what you're doing here, but didn't you also do something with, like, where you point the paintbrush down and you kind of turn it, and anything within that range should have a highlight?
That's for OSL, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same thing, because the sun is just OSL, right? If we're doing outdoor lighting, it's just the same thing. It's just your...
we just answered it, Shadowcast. Rewind. Chuck Rodriguez, fishing. Will there be a Memorial Day discount this weekend?
Nope.
Not on our website, no.
Nope. This guy, when I look at it, his body is open to the 10 o'clock side, his right shoulder, right, which makes it really nice. You could do it over this shoulder, but now you're highlighting more of the back of the model. I like to first look at it and say, where would the front of the model be the best highlighted from? And so for me, I think we'll go off of his right shoulder, kind of like we did the first one. So again, same thing, about a 45 downward angle. Everything that I can hit from this area. I just pile the paint. Notice I'm not... pull back out further. Oh, is this? Yeah, like this. Right? So notice I'm holding the brush like this. So as I spray, I'm not changing the angle of the brush at all. I'm lowering it and raising it maybe. But I'm not changing... I'm not doing this. Right? I'm not dropping the brush down because that'll put paint in the shadows. See, as long as I don't do that, then from the worm's eye view, we call it, you get all purple. And from the bird's eye view, you get all light. Right? So then I'll just rotate it around to make sure that I get the same kind of highlight going around from the 10 o'clock to catch across the back and those areas there. But that's not going to get much. It's going to leave my shadow where it needs to be. So this is all geometry, right? This is all just making sure. And then on this side, going to the 2 o'clock side, I just pull the brush back a little bit further and feather the light on there so that I don't have it go super dark, but I still keep that shadow baked in. And boom, then that guy's done.
These minis are from
Bushido.
Bushido. That's what I thought.
I can cheat if I want to get a little bit of light, like on the center thing there would be kind of fun. But I don't want to do that too much.
Droidica said, my grandson has a Darth Vader primed in black. How would he get a vibrant red lightsaber? Would it be paint the black lightsaber blade with white?
White.
And then red, and which red would you suggest?
Oh boy, that's a great one. I think that there's a world where you can. It depends on where you're comfortable painting. I think something like bold pyro red over the white does wonders, right? But you have to paint it fairly thin. You don't want to cover all. You want to let the white brighten the red, right? Can you pop in one closer? But yeah, bold pyro red is a great one to do that with, and then you can highlight that with orange. Is a great color to highlight your lightsabers with after you've got the red on there.
Little Billy said, I feel so relaxed when Chris isn't here. Having Jen on Friday lets me take in so much more of what Jason is saying. It's great. You need to get over your Christopher hate and just enjoy the information. No, I get a little anxiety if I miss questions. I try and like squeeze in as many questions as I can.
Yeah.
And as soon as I feel like Jason's done answering one, I'm on to the next one. How would you do, from Bess, how would you do green skin?
What kind of green skin? You want like a light or a dark? My generic is dark yellow green, bright yellow green. Over usually dark purple or dark blue. Give me just a second to clean the airbrush out here, and I'll grab Hulk. Our incredible Hulk from Marvel Crisis Protocol is probably the best example we have just laying around of green skin, because you can do just about any flavor of green with the same technique. Leave it darker, make it brighter, do whatever you want.
And yes, that is a valuable tip from Shadowcast. It definitely helps if you at Monument Hobbies in the when you ask your question.
Oh yeah, we will most likely miss it if you don't add us.
Yeah, it's a little tougher to see. Oh, Droidica, thank you. I'm glad that you like it.
What's that?
Should have picked up some brush cleaner. Amazing.
Awesome. It's so good. If only I had a producer that would use it.
Little Billy said, Chris and I shall be together in the eternal dance of hatred.
The total what?
The eternal dance of hatred.
Eternal dance of hatred. I love this. That's very dramatic.
Said that I'm doing great, and he's proud of me.
That's very great.
The Hulk is not wearing his tutu.
The what?
Jason refuses to let Hulk embrace his inner dancer and wear the tutu.
Heck no. So this is my standard go-to. Even when I'm doing orc flesh, I just don't go as bright if I'm doing orcs, right? I would keep it to not quite as much brightness on it. But this is dark blue as a base. You can see the dark blue shadows. So I painted dark blue first. Then I went over it with dark yellow green, and then yellow green, and then bright yellow green. And then I did a wash of magenta wash so that you get like a pinkishness in between the muscles, right? And then I went back with the bright yellow green and the yellow green to work up my highlights. And I probably mixed a little bit of olive flesh or something, pale yellow, into the bright yellow green to get these really bright top end highlights, just to keep them green.
Super duper John, bye. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you
take it easy, John.
Off. By the way, did our server on last Saturday night at dinner remind you?
Yes.
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 Very much so, right?
Yes.
He was very friendly.
Yeah, super friendly. Talkative.
Yeah.
I liked it. All right. All right. I want to start with one of the big uglies. like this guy.
Sniper Corgi, hopefully you walk out of work every day and go home. But I feel like you mean something different.
Okay, I talked about earlier if someone had asked if I prefer dry brushing or airbrushing the highlights that I'm doing for one step. And I think that one of the coolest ways to show this is to do what I really like doing, which is the airbrush to this point, right? Where I've got the dark purple and the taupe, right? Or sorry, pale yellow on this one. And then I'm going to take some of our heavy titanium white. I've been using the Expert Colors titanium white just because dry brushing with a heavy white is just feels good. So it just feels right. Get a good amount of that out there. And then I'm going to show you what I prefer doing overall is to have, I'm going to take just a number 2 brush. It may seem a little big, and you could do a smaller brush at scale if you wanted to. But for what we're doing here, it's just a really quick pass to make sure that the highest peaks on the model get a bright white on them. Because pale yellow is still not bright enough to give you the super bright edges you may want when going through and putting the one step on, right? So just lightly hitting like the tops of these arms up here. And I want to keep that same general lighting direction that I created with the airbrush and just grab the panel edges. Even over here on the shadow side, since this is just going to grab details.
D. Buller would like to know what you recommend for black robes.
Okay, help me out. Just black fabric in general? Like how to get good black fabric? That's your question? Because black robes and just good black fabric just really want to not turn gray, right? So your highlights just want to be a darker color. So painting your robes first with, say, coal black, just a black, and then as you go through and brighten them up, stop at neutral gray. Do dark neutral gray over coal black as your first highlight, and it won't seem like that's a good highlight because it's like that color barely shows up, but it does. And then do like neutral gray. Because remember, everything needs a midtone and a highlight, even black. The problem is if you use a bright highlight like you're used to with other colors, then you lose the black. It starts to just become gray. And that's where the frustration for most people painting anything black comes from, is they lose the black and they just start getting gray. The contrast goes away, and the remedy for that is to just stop before you get to a bright gray highlight. Use your let your dark grays be the highlight.
D. Buller said yes, black fabric.
Yeah. So that's the key.
Do you want to talk about why you don't wear a mask when you airbrush?
Yeah. So the first thing I will say is that, breathing any kind of solid into your lungs is a bad idea. And even atomized paint, water-based paint can be considered a solid of sorts. So if you have respiratory problems, don't listen to what I'm saying, wear a mask. That being said, the reality is that painting with acrylics, liquid water-based acrylics, is that they are not going to become airborne unless you're spraying very far away from the model and letting the paint dry in the air. I paint so close to the model, I'm usually, like if this were the airbrush, I'm usually within an inch or two of the model, maybe 3. There is no way that paint spreads out into the air because it's all going on the model, right? And so, you don't have, like, if I'm spraying a lot, you'll see a little bit of overspray on the desk, but all that paint stays out in front of me. Now, that's when I'm painting a single model, or like this, I'm painting 5. It's still pretty easy. If I were like priming an entire army, then yeah, I would say you need better, you need to find a way to get better ventilation and wear a mask. If you're going to wear a mask that has an HEPA filter cartridge in it. Do not just wear a Home Depot sawdust mask, because I always tell you, go try to cut wood with one of those masks and see how many sawdust boogers you get. You'll get a lot.
When you were talking about the black fabric, would you do the same for black armor?
Yeah, black armor wants to have more of a shine to it, so you have to go a little bit brighter with that. And so a lot of times with black armor, I tend to paint it much brighter than you want it, and then use like a black wash to knock it back down. If you check out our YouTube channel, you'll find various black armor videos on there that all do some variation of that same theme, where I will go through and paint it in, all the way up to and including white or bright neutral gray on it, which is way too bright, and then put a black wash or black transparent, some form of brighter or a darker wash back over it, filter, to knock it back down to black. You can see, so we're just picking out some of the details like the spikes and things like that with the white. We're not being overbearing. We're not wanting to turn the model white. We want to still have the pale yellow be the bulk of our highlight. This just gives us a little bit of edge highlighting where the airbrush won't do that. The dry brush will, which was what makes this a really good combo to do. And this part goes very fast because you're not having to spend a whole lot of time per model if you're doing it right. And you're always wanting, with dry brush, you're always wanting to, our light came like this, right? It came from this way because our shadow's over here, brightness over here. So you want your dry brush to take the same direction. My dry brush needs to go from our right up to our left down. I'm only hitting the model when I'm going right to left and not hitting it as I go back across the model. And like I said, I still want to do some of this even when I'm in the shadows to pick out things like the detail of those hairs, right? I don't want to press very hard on this because it's not very detailed. It has just a little bit of a rough surface. But then I get some of the detail that's in the shadow, but still leave it dark. That's going to be key. You don't want any part of your model to strictly be in darkness. You lose the detail that you kind of want to have.
Swifter Bear, just think of it this way. It's like Christmas. You have 2 new things that you get to try.
What's that?
That hopefully will make your life easier. Swifter Bear said, I've been struggling all week with my brushes, and while listening to you guys, I realized 2 things. 1, I've had brush goop laying around that I bought 2 months ago unopened. 2, I forgot my wife bought me Monument Hobbies brushes during a Black Friday sale that I completely forgot about.
Bingo. This sounds like Christmas.
A good day.
This is like Christmas for you. I have those days where I find models in the closet.
Like, oh yeah.
Wait a minute, I bought this. That's freaking awesome. I was just thinking the other day, I really wanted this. For a minute, like when I said the other day when Gabe was on producing, and I was like, I'm going to make a Tau army. And chat laughed at me, and Gabe laughed at me, and he goes, you already have 1 billion Tau models, and for just a second, I was like, do I? Because there's a whole room of stuff over here, and I can't remember what's in it. But he and Chris know a lot of the things that they've seen. And he's like, yeah. And I go, no, that's Eldar. And he goes, oh, yeah, that's Eldar. And I go, rats. Oh. I thought for a second he was right. I was like, do we? Because I don't know. It's like sometimes Christmas comes when you least expect it. You're like, oh, I've been wanting to paint a Night Titan. And bingo, there's Night Titans over there in the closet. Somebody says, look, we have 80 of them. Take a pick.
Angry Grizzly, thank you for giving them a little shout out. I will make sure to pass that along to them. They're all off today and Monday. Angry Grizzly, by the way, said kudos to your team. My 1 step is out for delivery.
Awesome.
For those of you who are waiting for the arrival of your 1 step paint, or even waiting perhaps still for your shipping notification, we really appreciate your patience. I think we determined this was the biggest release day ever.
Biggest release day ever, yeah.
So they are working through, and they are human beings. So we have all humans who work for us, and they You know,
We have a couple robots.
no robots, and they are amazing. And yes, very dedicated, very committed to getting things out as quickly as they can. But yeah, they're humans, so it does take time. So we appreciate your patience. Avery Grizzly also had a question about clone trooper armor with one step. Aside from black primer, what colors should I zenithal with, and what white should I mix with the special sauce?
So I would not do it with white. I would do it with something like bright neutral gray or white blue, something like that. White isn't going to do much for you because it isn't going to settle into being a darker shadow color. You might as well just paint. If you're going to do that, one step isn't going to do much for you. What I like, and what you'll see in the second 12 colors that are coming, is that we are doing a bright cool gray is the color. We don't have that in the normal line, so you won't find a bright cool gray in Pro Acryl that you can substitute, but you can do white blue. White blue is very close to that. And do it over white and black, I think, right? Could you do it over something like taupe and purple like what I've done here? You could. I don't think that buys you a lot for white. Chromatic white is harder to deal with sometimes because it just gives you like faded purple, faded taupe, yellow. I think I like going black and white for my undertones. Strictly keep it neutral. And then, like I said, instead of using white, use a chromatic color. Use something like white blue and mix with the one step. And I'll show you. Hang on. Let me clean this brush. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Have a great weekend.
Right. That is what we've done here. This is in wave 2 of one step is this bright cool gray. And you can see here the bright cool gray with a dry brush of titanium white over the top. This is how I paint all of my clones, because that gives you a white armor. But you can see like over white primer, right? The white is definitely brighter, but that pulls off being a dirty white, right? And you could dry brush more white on here if you wanted it to be a brighter white. But this is going to make the shadows become a darker gray without being a black. And if you, this is just over white, right? And so there's no zenithal on here at all. So this is showing how it creates a shadow without a black. If you have a black under there, then your shadows are even darker, and then you can go heavier with your dry brush, but that's what I would do. Something like bright neutral gray or white blue, I think would be your best bet.
Shadowcast, have a great weekend. Ghost Hunter said Jason Tao is the correct choice.
Ish. All right, I think on this, so we can get some play with color going now that I've shown you how I like to do the zenithal work. I think on this, I really want to try, I think dark green brown.
The model you were showing with the test, that's Adam, right?
Yeah.
From Atomic
That's
Mass?
that's the Atomic Mass Games Adam. It's their mascot, and they make a really amazing little fun model that they do at shows. And I've been using him to show off all of the new 12 one-step colors. So I think I'm going to go with dark green brown. We're going to thin it way down here and play with it a little bit. This is going to be too green just as it is. So I'm going to go dark green brown and a little bit of, oh, you know what? Let's put a little bit of tan flesh in it. I was thinking warm brown, but that'll darken it up. So dark green brown, one step. And then a little bit of shadow flesh, one step. Right? And I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, 5 drops. Oops. Oops.
Do we have a video showing the weathering pigments?
We have live streams we've done with them.
Okay.
I don't remember if Chris did a video with it or not. Feel like we did.
Maybe not because they went so quickly.
That's also true. He may not have released it because they were out of stock in 2 days.
Yeah. But I know you've used them on stream. I just
Yep.
I don't know what
Okay,
strings,
that,
because
I
I'm
think-
not Christopher.
That's pretty good. Let's play around with that. I'm going to thin this way down. So I'm going to use water. Oh, should I do? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mix enough to really. I was going to like say maybe we put it in a different cup and half it, but I didn't make enough. So we'll just put water in it. About 1 to 1. So it was probably 50-50 shadow flesh to dark green brown. You can see how intense the dark green brown is as far as being darker. And then half and half with water, so I get a very light color. And then that I should be able to put over the top of this. And, oh, I don't want that brush. I want something bigger.
AG to John, they got 1 out of 3. That's pretty good. Sounds like that because it's been like an hour and a half, that they were all pretty uneventful, which is good. Good luck next time. And have a good weekend.
Yeah, I like that. Got armor plates that are kind of growing out of him, but I think I want to do the armor plates black still anyway. So this is where I'm going to be kind of more painterly with the one step. I'm not just slopping it on because I don't want the whole model to just be doused in this color. Obviously, I want to go in between armor panels as I can, so I can leave them in the undertones we painted. Oh, he has a little spider on his chest too. It's just teeny weeny. Jen's happy about that. That's her favorite part of these. Is the disgusting little face on the stomach. I want to know more about these guys. Like, what in the world?
Is there like a story?
Well, most of the Bushido game is taken from true Japanese mythology. So the same stuff that we've been talking about with the Ironi army that I'm doing for Conquest, which is kind of a play on it. It's in its own fantasy world, but taking some of the tropes from Japanese mythology and mysticism. This is the Bushido game is more baked into it from, like, you know, taking all that lore and using it in the world of, you know, feudal Japan or that historic Japanese time frame. So I don't know, because they have like Tengu and some other things that I'm more familiar with, but I don't know the story behind these guys. I don't know if they are part of like the Joromogo that we have, the big spider, the blue spider that I did. I don't know if they are kind of in that same role or not. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like these are kind of their own thing.
Ghost Hunter and Mo already miss Philip. The way I look at it is this would be a normal day off, as would Monday. So Tuesday, I think, is when it'll feel more like we're missing Philip. Eldritch Cowboy just picked up my one-step box today. I'm excited for a long weekend of staying in and painting.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone who is able to, like, if you've got a friendly local game store that carries our products, we appreciate that you support them.
100%.
That's pretty awesome.
100%.
And if you have a friendly local game store who does not carry our products,
kick them in the shins.
Tell them to call us.
Kick them in the shins.
Or send Baby J a message on Discord and have him call them.
Kick them in the shins.
We also have Kenny. I just don't know what Kenny's Discord name is. You guys all know Baby J.
Kick them in the shins.
Don't kick them hard enough to make them mad, though. Because then they might not order it just to spite you. I think that would be worse, Mo.
What's that?
To kick them in the jimmy so they don't forget.
No, that's why I said shins.
Yeah.
We're not trying to like really piss people off. We're just trying to show them that they should be paying attention. Pay attention to me.
Belial, are you in the U.S.? If you are in the U.S., they need to order directly from us. Washington. Okay. I mean, that's Jordan's home state, so you would definitely be willing to contact them and get that all worked out.
Yeah, we no longer work through any distributors in the U.S., so they got to contact us directly.
FLGS is in the East Valley that carry Pro Krill. Recreation?
Yeah, recreation games.
Mock's Boarding House?
Yeah, Mock's Boarding House is over there. Something cards and games. The guys that do Old World. Primetime.
Yeah, so recreation is over like the 202, Santan 202, and maybe Chandler. Primetime is Baseline and Stapley.
Something like that.
Yep.
It's the old Games U.
Yeah, and then Mox is Ray and Alma School.
That sounds kind of right. I don't remember any of those streets since we moved over here. I
used to live over there. I grew up in that part of the world, so. Belial, if you are on our Discord, send a message to Baby J with the store's name. And he will let them know what's going on. Darth Vader, that works too. But if you're in the East Valley, it's a bit of a trek to get to HQ for a pickup.
Yeah. But you are always welcome to come to HQ.
If you find yourself in the area or you have a plan to be over.
We're also not open on the weekends.
Yeah.
So
not open on the weekends. Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5 is how we say it.
Yeah.
We're there a little earlier, so if you showed up earlier, you could probably get the crew to help you out.
In Chandler next to I-10. So recreation sounds like it's probably the closest one to you.
Where?
In Chandler near I-10.
There's also Gamers Guild.
Oh yeah, Gamers Guild. Gamers Guild on I-10 and
University kind of area.
Yeah, University 48th Street area. Yeah, they're one of the biggest.
I just don't think of them as East Valley. I think of them as more central because that's kind of like airport
Tempe
area. But if you're in Chandler, that still might be close.
Muffin Truck wants to know if you've had a chance to check out the John Blanche on Guard minis.
No. I listened to a little bit about the game. It didn't really intrigue me. And the style of the minis and stuff didn't really speak to me. Not that they're pirates, but in the same way that pirates don't speak to me. That kind of older era doesn't really do much for me.
Wirehead, thanks for hanging out. Have a great weekend.
Wirehead, have a wonderful weekend and holiday. You're here celebrating Memorial Day in the U.S.
Boshek, you're late, but you're here. Glad to have you. Seth Till Death,
Oh,
born and raised in
gross.
Chandler. Currently in Birmingham. Was stoked to pick up One Step at my LGS. Plan to use this exact mix on my rats.
What I'm doing right now? It's pretty crazy. I'm looking at this and thinking, good God, this is gross. It's like his butt is turning into a spider butt. His badonkadonk is starting to show. And it's disgusting. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's weird looking cloth. And I'm like, that's not cloth. His butt's hanging out, and it's not a butt anymore.
Swifter Bear, no, we are not doing any grilling this weekend. Gamers Guild has Dark Purple Primer. Fantastic. Check them out. Yeah, they are one of our biggest stores in the Valley.
In the world.
Not our store, but one of the biggest stores that carries our stuff, and they usually have really good stock.
Yeah, they're one of our biggest stores globally.
They are also quite popular for their online store. But no grilling this weekend. But we are enjoying our final restaurant for restaurant week tonight. And then I don't know. We don't have any plans as far as I know.
I may do some hobbying. People have really wanted me to see me paint Gundam, and so I may finally get my 30-minute mecha done up. I've been saying that I needed to, close up all the holes, the connection holes on it, so that it was paintable. So I've thought about it sitting on my desk at home. So I was thinking about doing that this weekend. I can hit the ground running maybe next week. I'm only here for 1 day of streaming next week.
What day do you leave? Tuesday?
Wednesday.
You leave Wednesday.
I might do Wednesday's stream because my flight is so late. Just depends on how much
right.
I get.
That's right. Forgetting Monday's a holiday.
Yeah, it just depends on how much I get packed up.
Yeah.
How ready I am for Poland. As to whether or not I stream with you gang on Tuesday or Wednesday. But I'll definitely be here on Tuesday.
Do you think you might stream from home this weekend with your Gundam?
I don't know. People get mad because I ruin their stream streak, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, Darth Vader. It's 48th and Broadway. It's you will miss it if you use your map because it's tucked into a weird little
industrial park,
kind of like an industrial / officey type park. You wouldn't expect a game store to be there.
Definitely not.
But it's big. Vivian said, go ahead, mess up our stream streaks.
People get testy. I ain't trying to piss nobody off. Chris keeps promising he's going to come over, and I have not set up a time for him to come over to the house and fix the camera.
Yeah.
So that's been my biggest hassle, is that it bums me out that the camera isn't the way I want it over there.
Yeah.
If the light's a little too harsh, we just need to get him over there to work on the room. It's nearly there. And I have fun doing it, so we just need to get him to come rescue my setup. It's funny. I think dark green brown is my favorite color of the first batch of One Steps.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just such a really good undercoat color, shader. It's just a great color. I don't get near as much use out of this color as an opaque color, but when you thin it down, like being able to do the wash that we did over the gold for the non-metallic was just fantastic. These spikes are probably going to be the bane of my existence through this entire model. Cause paint to not go where you want it. Feel like they poke my hand all the time. Gonna break them off.
Oh, by the way, it is already 3:49.
No way.
Yes way.
Pretty good. And what I want to do is now I want to take just the, because these are humans turning into creatures, right? So the idea was to give us like a really gross undercoat color and then be able to follow it up with a little bit of just flesh tone. And so we're going to try with the brighter color of shadow flesh that we added in, but just try to do this in a kind of a blotchy manner over the top of what we just did and see how it will blend. That's why I did that very thin, right? This I'm not going to thin, and I'm just going to take the same number 4. Get it clean.
You said that's a number 4?
This is number 4 sable that I've been using.
Number 4 sable, pro sable.
And now I can take just the shadow flesh color, and I'm just going to kind of throw it over the top in the stippled kind of way. I'm not really trying to paint it on in any cohesive, controlled manner. I just want to get some color stippled in there and see how that does. We'll see how it works. This is right over the top of the one step that we just did. So I'm not really using this as a one-step color. I'm not trying to have it go into the recesses. I'm using it to just glaze. But because of its intensity and because of the way that it lets us have that visual blend with the color underneath it, I'm hoping that, again, this takes a lot of the work out of these types of effects. And it looks like it is doing a great job. Because if I were to use just regular shadow flesh here, I would have to thin it down so much to have the dark green brown show through, and then that means I got to layer it up a bunch in order to get the intensity I want. The one-step colors don't have that problem. They have the saturation I'm looking for right out of the bottle, and they're already very thin opacity. So that's the beauty that they give us, is the ability to glaze in one step. Who knew?
What?
And that's giving me exactly what I wanted. That's awesome. Notice how I'm treating it more like a glaze. I'm taking it off on my thumb palette. Again, just kind of stippling it around.
Darth Vader, this was dark purple with pale yellow. Not taupe. Boshek is thinking of using the dark green brown for bark on trees.
Yeah, it would be great.
Beefy Berkey said, I want to try the dark green brown over true metallic gold / brass and see if it makes a tarnished version.
It 100% will. That's what I really loved it for when we were doing this guy, right? Is that it gave us that tarnished look on the gold here. And this is all just one step. Same on the helmet, right? It gives a really, really nice darker tone to it that makes it look dirty without being such a interruption to the gold like a brown wash on its own would be, right? Can you pop in one closer?
Mm-hmm.
I want people to see how this is applying, because I think this is working a champ. Having immediate effect. We'll be able to see perfectly once it dries. This is showing you how quickly, number one, you can go over the top of one step with another wet coat of paint without tearing it or having any weird movement of the paint. Again, I'm just kind of roughly sketching it on here. giving us a very wet blended look without having to mess with wet blending.
Oh my God, Becky.
Look at that butt. And look at how it blended on that knee.
Yeah.
Right? Without having to do any work at all. That's just too easy. I'm just literally smacking it around. The lack of opacity that it has will allow it to do that blending, but the staying power it has on the brighter surfaces allows us to still get some color out of it, even over this darker green brown, which is really what's happening to me, because I started there up around the shoulder and the face, and look at that. Yeah, that's too easy.
So easy.
I don't know if I'll leave it on the claws and stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on there while I've got it active, just in case. Now, I probably could have also done the shadow flesh first and then thinned the dark green brown down even more and put it over the top of the shadow flesh. So kind of pick your poison on that. Generally, I would put the light color on first, which would be the shadow flesh, and then let it do its one-step thing. This, I really wanted the shadows to get built up with the dark green brown, and then have the one-step just be in the highlight spots for the shadow flesh. And I think that's what is working really well here. So
there will still be a stream next week.
Yeah.
Jason will be here Tuesday. Do you know who's Gabe and Christopher the rest of the week?
Gabe and Christopher probably the rest of the week, yeah.
That's right, because Jordan is off as well, I think.
Yeah, I believe Jordan's out.
Yeah. Oh, but maybe no stream Friday.
Yeah, no stream Friday most likely, because I won't be here and the guys are off.
They're off.
So, but Chris will guide all that
Yep.
once he's back. He'll keep you up to date with what's happening with all that.
Yeah, check the Discord. No, I will not be going solo on Friday.
Well, that would be so good. Pusher chat.
No, not gonna happen.
A little too hot.
Oh, you're kind of off.
Yep, sorry.
Do you want me to pop back out?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I just wanted to be in close so they could see how the skin tone was going on over there. I think that looks really good.
Looks really good.
Get some color on the armory finals, and then we can be done. Use this guy as our setup.
Alex Perry said, if I remember lore correctly for these guys, they are followers of the Awoken that were given blessings. Now they want to spread the blessings to others and bring more people to the family fold.
Fantastic. So they're a cult. They're the spider cult. Great. Got it.
So Charles Manson that called his followers the family. Little culty.
I thinned it down because I'm so happy with how it looked on our night. I'm seeing what we can have that do here if we can keep it moving a little bit into that space of like darker green armor. I think would be really neat against the dark green brown.
The Sharky said, do metallic pro-acryl paints work well with glaze medium?
Yeah.
Glaze medium or one step?
Both.
Both is the answer.
Yeah, they work great.
These are new, Mo. He just got these.
What's
Spider Nurgle. Mo asked if they were new or if they were grabbed from the vault.
Nope, these are new.
New.
I don't know if they had these. I would assume maybe they had some of these at Adepticon. They had just come out, so this might have been something they were showing at Adepticon. I did not get a chance to stop by their booth at Adepticon, and that really bummed me out.
What ratios for mixing the metallics with the glaze medium?
Oh boy, it depends on what you're doing with them, right? Like anything, glaze medium can be 10-1 if you want it to be. Metallic paints are more opaque because they have a solid in them in the metallic, the mica flake. And so you'll have to overcome more. So I would say probably, 6-1 to start, 5 or 6-1 glaze medium. A lot to a little is kind of the idea.
For Sheldon, you have a great weekend as well. Enjoy the holiday if you're in the U.S.
I'm constantly telling people to don't, stop thinking of your metallic paints as something completely different. They are just paint, and you can use them as such. So if there's a medium you like, to mix in, special sauce, glaze wash, you want to glaze with metallics, it is a fantastic idea to give it a try. They operate a little different because, they're a little thicker in general. They have more solids in them from, like we were talking about, the fact that they have mica flake in. So they will act a little bit different, but it'll be comfortable enough for you. It shouldn't cause you too much problem. They glaze like a dream. Maybe I lied. Maybe dark blue black's my favorite. I do this all the time.
Yes.
Guess which one's my favorite? All of them.
All of them.
whichever one I'm using tends to be my favorite color for anybody that ever asks. What's your favorite protocol color? The one I'm using.
And Caro has a question. Looking to follow the black armor workup you did for one step, would dark warm flesh be a good substitute for taupe for the zenithal, or is it too yellow?
I'd probably use just warm flesh. I just used pale yellow here, and it's doing the same thing. So as long as you have a little bit of yellow content in the color, I think you're fine, right? You're going to get a very, very similar outcome, right? Because this over the pale yellow here is doing the same thing, right? I've thinned it maybe a little bit more, but it looks like about the same. That yellowishness of the pale yellow is having the same effect. And I'm really digging this. I'm trying to recreate it, right? Just having used pale yellow instead of taupe. And it's working great. Yeah, I think that looks great. For his armor, I'm gonna do his belly plates the same. I don't know if that was my goal, but that's what I'm doing. He works out. Yeah, they're just got to figure out the cloth and the rock, and but that really turned out nice on the flesh. Pop in super close. Right?
Yeah, that looks really
The flesh tones just kind of blended right in there. Again, just applying them very sloppy. So they're just kind of modeled on the skin as opposed to where a particular highlight would have been. It just kind of models some color, and then we can go back and highlight it. Picking color to highlight it with might be a little tricky. I think we might be able to go with something that highlights the dark green brown instead of the flesh tone would be the best thing. So from like the dark green brown maybe up into that with faded green or something like that could be really cool. Play into the green part of it. Yeah, these guys are nuts.
I don't like them.
Find a way to put some color in the cloth here. Yeah, these are going to be fun. I think this guy might be my favorite because he actually has like spider mandibles on his face. He doesn't have spider tummy. He has I'm turning into a spider vibes going on. And sandals.
Flip-flops.
He's got flip-flops. He's got flip-flops. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Awesome.
Cool. We're ready for some links.
Good job. He has a little skin condition. Yes. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to say that, right? Is he needs a dermatologist. Again, power one step coming through. Looks more painted than anything. I love it. The nubs would drive me crazy. They keep sticking me. I'm surprised I haven't busted any of them off yet. A lot of sandals. Yeah, exactly. He's less body horror than the others. Yeah. The mandibles coming out of the gut is a little creepy, but I don't like. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging with us on a Friday. Hope your week has been great.
Yes.
And you've got some great plans for the weekend if you're in the U.S. and you're getting together with family or friends to recognize Memorial Day. Hope you have fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and watching some paint dry all week. If you're new around here, hit the follow or the subscribe button on whatever platform you're watching on. Remember, we do this Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time here in Phoenix, Arizona. We'd love to see you back. So hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, sign up for all of the Go Live stuff, and catch us back here. We won't be streaming on Monday, I don't think. If I do, I might do something from home. But Monday is Memorial Day observed here in the U.S., so the gang is off. And then Tuesday, Chris is back. And so it'll be Chris and I on Tuesday and possibly Wednesday. My flight out to Poland is late on Wednesday, but it'll see how I feel and how I've got prepped and all that stuff going on Wednesday. It would be great if I could hang out with you guys on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then I'm gone until the following Tuesday at Contrast in Poland. So if you're over in the EU and you happen to be going to the Contrast Festival, it's a tremendous miniature art festival contest. Great place to hang out. Really good vibes. So I'd love to see you over there.
The following Tuesday, but you won't be streaming that.
I think I'm back the following Monday.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, because remember coming from east to west, I get back the same day I leave. And so then I'm here on Tuesday all day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but whether or not I'm here, I don't know. It just it depends on how jet lagged I am and how I feel. So we'll see. But my plan is to be back the following Tuesday. So everybody, thanks so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Make sure to check out all the links Jen put up in chat. And called you Chris.
I could tell.
That Jinris put up in chat there. Check out monumenthobbies.com, monumenthobbies.eu. Buy some hobby supplies.
Yep.
Get some paint, get some brushes, paint your models. Have fun doing it. Go hang out with friends on the Discord. We have a tremendous amount of amazing artists for inspiration and everything in our community. So join us. Be a part of the Pro Cult. We'd love to see you.
Yes.
So stick around. Jen's going to find us somebody to raid. Show some love in the chat we wind up in. And that'll take you off into your Friday and onward into your weekend. We'll see you on the flip side, gang. Adios.